Dear Rentals Club members, dear scalers, dear people watching right now live or replay, today I have the pleasure of being with Srin. Srin is the co-founder of Listify. We'll be talking about how to create listings fast, how to use AI to do that, and all kind of good things. And not just going to be talking, going to see live how to do it, live demo. And I'm going to be asking questions also to help you understand what this is about. But without further ado, let's welcome Srin. Srin, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good, thanks. I'm so happy to have you on board. As you know, I'm very interested in anything AI, and I think what you have is very promising. But Srin, it's not your first time in the vacation rental industry.
Not my first rodeo, as they say.
Exactly. So let's say, what makes you a good person to be, talking today about, vacation rental content, or to be talking about creating a vacation rental tech company?
Sure thing. So, I've worked in this industry a number of years, primarily as a serial entrepreneur. So my first startup was a company called Accomable that eventually got acquired by Airbnb in 2017. I then led a product team at Airbnb for a number of years, leading a new category of inventory rollout. And just over those years, just saw lots of things, lots of opportunities, but also just lots of gaps where the market can better help property managers market their listings to the wider world. So yeah, I left Airbnb in 2020 and I've been working on this new startup the last few months, trying to help property managers with AI.
And I said, so already, like, fascinating story, and fascinating stories plural, because now we're moving on to Listify. So can you explain first, who is Listify for? You started talking about property managers. So who is it for?
Yeah, so Listify is an AI tool for anyone that manages a property listing on any platform. And so what our product does is that it helps make the generation of copy really easy. What is central to most listings is writing copy. So what our AI does is make that much easier for you.
So that's part of the problems that you're solving here, right? In that sense. So, and it could be abstract in a way, right? We're solving issues. So we talked together when we prepared this call, right? How to best help people understand what we're talking about here. And maybe a good way to do that is to maybe go to see an actual listing on Airbnb and see how you would replicate the experience with Listify.
Sure.
Take
Can
it
you
away.
see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So if you are a host or a property manager on a big sort of rental platform, i.e. like Airbnb, two of the most important things are the pictures, of course, but also equally as important is the copy on the listing. So good copy is known to increase conversion, and the better the copy is written, the more likely one is to get bookings, on the basis that good copy is a signal of trust, it is a signal of quality, and just is a signal of professionalism of the management of the listing. And so what we do is that we can use our AI to help you write this bit of copy here that I'm showing on the screen. So this introduction summary is actually one of the most important bits of real estate on an Airbnb listing. This is the copy that Google sees. It is also the copy that most users see when they are browsing listings. And if that piece of copy is engaging along with a good title, then a guest is more likely to go through the rest of the listing and hopefully make a booking.
And again, to your point, right, you should know because you worked at Airbnb.
Yep, and it's Airbnb and just every other big booking platform. The quality of the copy is a major determining factor when it comes to getting a booking. And so yeah, so what we do with our AI, and should I take you through what the tool can do, or what would be good for you?
I think what we could do is also maybe if you click on the show more of the description, we can see also.
Oh yes, of course.
There's some more about, for example, I think the bedrooms or the rooms themselves. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So Airbnb and other platforms, there will be more space for additional information. Again, really important. And so if there can be engagement with this initial bit of copy here, you are more likely to have a guest click on the show more button and then explore the rest of the property. And again, if this listing copy is better, the data shows that you are more likely to get a booking.
So we're going to see how you can help with this short description again, which is so important to convince people to even click on the show more, which just did, the description of the properties, but also you can help with the description of the area, which I guess is very important for some users. Yep. We talk about that from whom, but you can help with this.
So let's imagine that you are a user, you are a guest, and like you want to travel to London, where I'm based. You want to know what's in the area, and a lot of times people like I am one of those. I will make a booking dependent on what I'm near to and wanting to know what's in that area. So Airbnb and again other platforms will give you the ability to add some neighborhood information, and that can be really hard, right? Like especially if you are managing properties in an area that you are not personally familiar with. Writing exciting, interesting copy that is engaging to a user can be difficult, and to do lots of them. And I'll be the first to admit I am not great at writing copy, which was sort of part of the inspiration of seeing whether we could use AI to help people write copy better.
Perfect. So let's see. Now we've talked about these three bits: the description of the overall, let's say, the short text, the of the room and the area. So let's look at that. So is it Listify?
Yeah. So it's just Listify. It's simple, Listify.ai. So we can help you generate copy for 5 areas, from descriptions, sort of the introductory description, the title, the area description, individual room descriptions, and also giving you a skeleton sort of description for the entire listing, as you saw after you click the show more button. I think, maybe just as a demo, I can quickly show you the initial description. So I don't know, Thibault, if you want to shout, maybe we can have an apartment, 3 bedrooms. What do you think of Barcelona, Thibault? Do you like Barcelona?
Oh, I love Barcelona.
All right, let's go to Barcelona. Let's say this property is ideal for families and groups of friends. And, a few bullet points I just sort of sketched earlier just to save me typing. We can say that the property has a large balcony, sea views, spacious rooms, close to the beach, near to train station. Anything else you want to add in there? Or should I hit the generate button?
Maybe there's can we say there's an optional baby cart or something like this? Can we talk about amenities, you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. What else? So what else should I add?
A baby cart, if it's possible.
Oh, baby cart.
Yeah.
I'll do that a bit higher up. If we can add a bit of order, that usually, or do you mean like a baby chair?
Oh yeah, baby chair, for example. Yeah. I know, it's really what's on my mind right now. It's my personal issues projected really in the listings, probably.
Baby chair. Well, let's see. No, it's really, I'm sure a lot of people will identify
so
that.
So we have some elements, but not a text. So wow,
yeah,
look at
exactly.
That.
Just a few bullet points. And what this will do, the AI will take those bullet points and generate a number of different copy options, ranging in creativity. So the first option will be what we call high accuracy, low creativity. So this is just, it will string these bullet points together into full sentences, which, may be what some people want. But then as we go along, what the AI will do, will start to create different levels of creativity with more flair, slightly more exciting language. And so as you can see, some of these, they're really good. If you look at the last one, that is, you wouldn't, a machine wrote that text, basically.
I like the last but one, for example, there's a baby chair available for your little one so they can enjoy their stay with you. Again, I just threw in, baby chair. So, and wow, Look at that. It is relevant and it will talk to a parent. That's for sure.
Exactly. And so this copy, and again, if you are writing lots of these, or even if you're just not a regular writer of copy, it is hard. And so what this AI can do is that it has learned what makes good listing copy and just help do that work for you.
Yeah, as a non-native speaker, I can see the value, right? You have to
Yeah.
write listings in 20 languages, or 20 listings in English, for example. That's already a lot of work for me.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we do have some initial language translation capability. Just to caveat, like the AI has been trained using English, but it can be translated into 6 other languages. It will need someone to double check the output, but it can do 95% of the work for you. Yeah, in the background, it will do that.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad actually in French version. Yep.
Yeah, so it'll need a little bit of finessing at the end, but the idea being with a lot of AI tools, it doesn't sort of it should never replace people, but it helps people work more faster.
No, it's not bad actually. It can even distinguish the gender of the nouns in French. That's pretty good. Wow.
Exactly. So it's it's a bit of finessing, but hopefully that would just save someone so much time doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next one is title. So again, with those same bullet points, we can help spin up. Spin up some title examples. So again, we'll hit the generate button. It works in the background to do it. So this one we just have to keep hitting sort of show more, show more. It sort of will do rapid fire different options of potential titles. So again, it's a little bit. It just presents lots of different. Probably that one there, the best one so far. But yeah, it will just flag different options for you. And then the next one is area description. So I don't know. Let's pick a different area. Let's do. I like South Kensington in London. Have you been there before, Thibault? South Kensington in London?
Probably. I think so.
So the way the area description works is that it pings Google, and it asks Google to tell us what are some good local attractions. So we can say Hyde Park, Harrods, the Science Museum. Oh yeah, the Royal Albert Hall's very nice. They'll find local subway stations. We can also find some restaurants, and then we can add a few keywords. So let's say trendy neighborhood. South Kent's pretty trendy. Trendy neighborhood, lots of restaurants and bars. Great location for exploring London. So again, just a few keywords here, nothing major. Again, the AI will take some of the things that we see as important, and it will spit out some examples. And with this particular one, the AI is having to take lots of guesses for you, like we're only giving it a small amount of information. So this one, it can be a little, it does have a higher sort of license for creativity, but it will generate the framework of some really good neighborhood descriptions.
And to be clear, right, because as I said, you worked for Airbnb and I work at Booking.com, and I remember, I mean, obviously not going into so much details, but if people know how things are on Airbnb, you do have control on your property listing description.
Yep.
Not so much on Booking.com, right? I remember the first time I listed a property on Booking.com, the description was terrible. And it was referring to an airport to go to my island, but it was the airport on the other island. I'm like, yeah, who cares that we are 25 kilometers away from this other airport? It's a different island. It doesn't make sense at all. It was very hard then to ask Booking.com to actually correct the listing description because it was just such a process. And here, what I can see, in a way, I can have more leeway here, right? you're retrieving information from Google Maps or Google about the attractions, the subways. So
you can choose what's important.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, you talk about creativity. I can even add some keywords or detail for description, putting some kind of more stuff here. So it's like, I think it's like best of both worlds. So we saw like Airbnb fully creative, Booking.com completely driven by whatever they're doing. Yeah, and so here is somewhere in between, right?
Yeah, exactly. And our thesis here is that we can give you sort of platform level high technology, but the everyday manager of a vacation rental.
Okay.
Then I can just take you to the final one is the room. So again, let's just say our fictitious apartment in Barcelona, let's just say it has 3 bedrooms, and bedroom 1 has a double bed, an ensuite bathroom. What else? Maybe a large wardrobe. Maybe the second one has 2 single beds. Maybe we think it's ideal for children.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one, let's just say, a single bed, has a large working desk.
Maybe a balcony or something.
And a balcony. Yeah, exactly. And then we sort of say great views. And as you saw with previously, the AI will take these keywords and spin up some basic copy to do this. And hopefully you can just copy and paste it or tweak it a little bit and put it in the listing.
That's a great demo. So let me talk now. Let's switch now to like back in like a face to face, and let's talk a bit about
Should I hit the stop share button? Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about the quality of what we're saying, or is it completely replacing copywriters? How do I use it in real life?
And I think that's one of the key messages and the key sort of value propositions of our product. Like, the whole idea is that we are enhancing and amplifying the work of the copywriter. That a copywriter should never be replaced by AI, but what an AI can do is help that copywriter generate many more listings. So instead of 1 per day, that copywriter can just be so much more productive. And it's not even just like quality, like sort of numbers of output, it's also the quality of output. If you are writing the same thing all the time, it's very easy to start duplicating language. And as you know, probably from sort of booking days, right? Like, duplication of language is penalized on Google search.
Yeah. And also I think it's, to be clear, right? It's because I've been playing with AI. Well, not playing, I've been using for my own writing, when I write content for my blog, for my reports. I've been using AI tools nowadays because that's, to your point, it helps you jumpstart things or do things better or differently. Again, as a native speaker, so it's really helping me sometimes just like frame things better. Just it can't write for me, but it can help me. And here what I'm seeing is that you also mentioned something about saving time. I think that we talked about this last time, because I think right now you are trialing this with companies, and it's not just like, it's not because we tick boxes, it's going to give the same content over and over, right? There's like, I can tick the boxes different times and doing different things, or slight change, and the text will be very different. So how does that, first question, how does it save time to people? We talk about people have like a volume of property managers, and what's behind, so people can really understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, so in terms of how it saves time, because it is generating the framework and the sort of it's generating the fundamentals of that listing copy, the copywriter's job moves more from just finessing the copy and finalizing it rather than drafting it from scratch. And hopefully that just allows larger numbers to be done. Also, the AI has built-in randomness. So every time you hit that generate button, something new will come up, but saying the same thing. And again, like, there are limits, like there's only so many ways. If one sentence can only be phrased so many ways, but a paragraph or a full listing can be phrased in a numerous number of ways. And doing that manually just takes time.
And sometimes all I have to do is just refresh the listings, right? But I have to do it twice a year over thousands of properties, maybe, or hundreds, which is already
exactly. And if you're it is really important that listing copy is refreshed. Like, that is something that improves visibility on Google. That is something that a lot of the search engines on big travel platforms value as well. That if listing copy is kept fresh, relevant, and also time specific. So, like, let's say it's October time, and your copy mentions something about the run up to Christmas. That just makes the listing sound more relevant and more kind of it's more relevant to the time that a guest is booking. So if you can make the copy more time, kind of more adapted to the time that the guest is in, that can help get bookings too.
Now, so let's I want to talk a bit moment about machine learning and models, but let's say, how do you make sure that the output is good? How do you train your tool so that it's the output is great property descriptions?
No, that's a great question, and it's a really important kind of piece to this, that the output for it to save time has to be good quality. So what we did was there's two steps here. One, we used a platform called GPT-3, which is one of the world's most sophisticated AIs for the generation of natural language. So that's the sort of the foundations is GPT-3. And secondly, and equally as important, Luke, who is my CTO, and I built our own fine-tuning model on top. So we analyzed thousands and thousands of listings, and we adapted them slightly, and then we combined the AI with a training set of really good Airbnb listings and copy from other good listings on other platforms, in order to train the AI as to what a good listing looks like. So, and that's sort of also what makes us unique as well. There are other AI writing tools out there that are a bit more general, which some of which you've mentioned, which are great tools, but this is the first one which has been dedicated purely to vacation rentals and trained on the vacation rental sector.
We have people, members of our network watching. So if you have any question, of course, feel free to either ask it in the chat or live as you see fit. And meanwhile, I will ask another question to leave time for people to leave other questions. So as I said, Srin, it's not your first company in the industry. It's not the first time working with property managers. So so I think you're trialing the service with property management companies. What has been the response so far? How do they see it?
Yeah, we have a handful of pilots, and this is our sort of first week on sort of public launch. The response has been great. Like we have been very kind of engaged with these early users and have sort of taken their feedback to improve the product rapidly, but the feedback's been great. We are finding now that the majority of our pilot users, their first step in their workflow for building a listing is to go to Listify and generate the first draft of the copy using the tool. And yeah, we're finding, so one of our early users, they manage like properties I'd say in the thousands. On average, they have said that a third of the time has been reduced on generating a listing. And if you are having to do thousands of these a year, you can imagine like that compounded again and again, how much of a time saving that has been. We've had other property owners where it's been less about the time saving, but more about helping creativity. And, when you are having to do 10 to 15 listings a day, it just gets really difficult to write something new each time. So helping their writers kind of focus on creativity and not have to do the same thing has been a great kind of value proposition as well.
That's super interesting, because I do use, as I said, other tools for writing, and to your point, right? It actually helps me being more creative, a bit less tired, and have more structure a bit more what I'm saying. It is very interesting how it's not replacing you. It's not at all. It's actually, I think you said, enhancing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Enhancing and amplifying the copywriter is the core of what we do.
Something you've done as well. So thank you so much, because you said it's sort of the public launch or one of the first interviews you're doing. And Srin, I really appreciate that, what you and Listify are doing. And on top of that, you're giving a discount code.
Yes, exactly. Again, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share what we're doing, and to viewers of this webinar. We are giving a discount code. So at the moment, if you sign up to Listify, your first 2 weeks are free. We are extending that free period by an additional 4 weeks if you use the discount code Rental Scale Up.
Rental Scale Up, just like either capital letters as you want. It's not case sensitive, right?
No, not case sensitive. So just that word, Rental Scale Up. If you type that in, you will get that discount code.
That's fantastic. And that's for 6 weeks free, right? And
6 weeks free, basically. And again, because we are an early stage company, we are very sort of nimble and responsive to wanting to build new things. And again, it's very much we are open to sort of having discussions on how we can help you. So if anyone wants to reach out and arrange a time to chat or a demo, then yeah, let us know.
Yeah, thank you, Srin, again. And that's exactly what I'm doing. This kind of thing, exactly to be able to connect people, make people discover new things, and make sure, again, people who are creating cool things have the feedback they need when they're developing new things, because it's, feedback is invaluable to make sure, what you're developing makes sense for, UK property managers, Spanish property managers, people who have properties in cities on the coast. It's very important to have a variety of feedback to make sure you're relevant. So that's so great as well. So anything else any question I forgot to ask you, I should have asked you?
No, I think so. I think we covered all the facets of this new tool, and no, really excited to finally launch this publicly and sharing what is, I think, amazing technology with the industry.